Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're in a Mazda Miata. I have never driven this thing, but this thing is crazy. It looks just like the one I used to have. The red and everything, NA. Wow, this is wild. So I'm currently using an Oculus Rift setup. I've got a Logitech G920 wheel setup, and then I also have a Fanatic handbrake, so let's test this thing out. You know, I've been in other cars, and you know, it's cool seeing the inside of them, but it's a lot different seeing the inside of a car that you've actually owned. Like, this is so real to me. Alright, well, I might have to play around with the tire setups and stuff. Oh, this thing is snappy just like my real one. So, the file that I downloaded didn't say how much horsepower this thing had. Actually, I lied. It said how much horsepower this thing had, but it didn't say what was done to it. So it's got 300 horsepower right now, which is just a really good amount for a Miata. I mean, they only weigh like 2,200 pounds, so any amount of horsepower in these things is a lot. Oh, this thing is fun though. Definitely could be set up a little bit better, but we'll make it work. Maybe. Why not? Give it a couple laps. Alright, I suck, but that's okay. To be fair, my Miata only had 100 horsepower, and I only drifted in the rain and the snow, which is a lot slower. God, this thing's crazy. If anybody watches Taylor Ray, I imagine this is what his LS Miata feels like. Just insane. I might put some different tires on this thing to slow it down a little bit. It doesn't really have a whole lot of angle. This is probably the most real feeling car I've ever drifted though, in Assetto Corsa. Maybe that's just because I'm used to the Miata, but this thing seems to react really well. Wall tap. That's a wall crash, not a wall tap. Okay, this thing does not like left braking. Not at all. God, this thing is cool. I'm gonna have to drift this thing more often. Okay. Let's switch up some settings here. Put on some economy tires. Okay. Let's see if this thing... So it sounds like it's a supercharged car, but it feels like it's a turbocharged car because there's not really a whole lot of torque down low. Oh! That hurts my brain. Anyways, it seems like there's not a whole lot of torque down low, but up high, it just wants to go. So twitchy. Kind of makes me glad that I sold mine. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a blast, but when you're drifting in real life, it's a lot easier to be smooth, and the car's not so twitchy. That's why a lot of people drift 240s and 350Zs, because they have that longer wheelbase. It makes transitioning a lot easier and smoother. God, this is so cool though. I just can't get over the fact that it's just like my Miata. Same color, same everything. I wish my Miata was this fast though. I always had plans to turbocharge it, but I just didn't feel like spending, you know, $2 grand or $2,500 on a nice turbo setup on it. You know, on a car that is only worth a couple grand. Ugh. If I knew how to modify cars on a Assetto Corsa, I would definitely put some more understeer into this car. Do like a more stiff front sway bar. It just wants to, you know, keep spinning out. It's easy to get sideways, but it just wants to keep going. So you can counteract that with more understeer. Just have to play it really safe. Speaking of playing it safe, smash into a wall. That's how I killed my car in real life. Just smash a rev like that. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Really hope the guy that buys my car never watches this. Or my previous snow drifting video and that thing. I actually recorded that snow drifting video like 2 days before I sold the car, something like that. But he doesn't need to know that. He actually already put it up for sale. He completely riced it out. He straight piped it. If anybody knows a Miata, straight pipe Miatas sound like garbage. And then he put on a cold air intake and didn't tune it or anything, and I guess it runs like crap. He actually texted me about it and was like, hey, you ever have any problems with the mass airflow sensor or anything? And I was like, nope. Always ran fine for me. Whatever. So now it runs like crap and he's selling it. He put a big old ricer wing on it. He put fender flares on it. Gosh, what else did he do? I don't even know, but... Oh, and a katana shift knob. He basically riced it out as much as possible, and I tried to keep it as clean as possible. All I really had done to it is I had a front lip on it. Visually, anyways, I just had a, you know, an eBay front lip on it, and it was lowered, but... Oh, and I painted the stock wheels black. Couldn't afford real wheels at the time. I'd love to say that I swear I'm usually not this bad at drifting, but that would be a lie. I also don't drift this track very much, but thought it'd be fun to switch things up. This is a blast, though. It's like nostalgic and what I wish my Miata always was, but wasn't. Maybe one day I'll get another one and do an LS swap or a K20 swap or something. I don't really know. Plans for the 350Z are to drift it on the stock motor, and then when I blow it up, plan on doing an LS swap. Those are real easy swaps for that car. Well, I don't know if I'd say easy, but you don't have to do as much to LS swap that car as you have to do on a lot of other cars. Oh! So, say you LS swap a Miata. You have to do a completely new drivetrain. like new drive shaft, new rear differential, new rear axles, just because, you know, Miata's not designed to hold 400 horsepower. New transmission, everything like that. But 350Z, you get an 06 or 07 with a CDO9 transmission. It can handle LS power. A lot of people actually use a CDO9 transmission with their LS, especially if they're drifting it, because it's got better gear ratios than a T56 for drifting. So it already has a diff, or already has the transmission. The diff can hold the extra power. So basically, all you do is pull the motor and swap the motor, you know, right motor harness and everything like that, and you're good. I mean, being able to save the entire rear end in a swap and transmission is like almost unheard of, and that's the reason a lot of people do that swap. It's like, yeah, 350Zs are really common for drifting, and LS 350Zs are becoming a real common swap. And you like, yeah, like you want to be different and stuff, but there's a reason that they're a common thing, and it's because they're economical to do, great cars for the budget, and that's what appeals to me about them. The only other thing that I would consider is getting a G35 instead of the 350Z, because it's basically the same thing, and LS swapping that. And really, that's just going to come down to whether I find a better deal on a 350Z or a G35. It seems like recently, I've been finding better deals on G35s, and I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's just more commonly known that, you know, people drift 350Zs. And I've actually seen costs in 350Zs go up recently, and that's because of drift tax. If you don't know what drift tax is, basically like a Nissan 240, right? Super old car, not really worth a whole lot, you know? Kelly Blue Book, not really worth anything at all. But since people drift them, just like a stock automatic 240 with like 200,000 miles, people try to get like $5 grand out of them, which is just ridiculous. But what's more ridiculous is people actually pay that because that's the chassis that they want to start from, and that's what they want to build. So 350Z prices are going up because people are drifting them more and more, which sucks, but it's whatever. The only car that I haven't really seen get drift tax is Miatas, and I don't exactly know why that is. I mean, a lot of people don't like drifting Miatas because of the short wheelbase and they're super twitchy, and they don't have a whole lot of horsepower stock, so you really need a turbo to be able to drift this and keep up with people. And, you know, people will say, you know, hey, if you can't drift a slow car, you can't drift a fast one. And although that can be very true, I don't see anybody, you know, really drifting a Miata without a turbo. And it's just because you gotta just crank the PSI in those tires up so high to be able to get sideways and clutch kick and just roast your clutch trying to get sideways. And I don't know. I only had an open diff with my Miata, but I would clutch kick the crap out of it trying to get sideways in the dry and just could not do it. Not even a little bit. Alright, if I link this track, this time this will be it and I'll end the video. God, this thing's so rowdy. Literally feel like Taylor right now. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Because I'm ready for this to be the last lap. You guys are probably bored anyways. I'm not, though. Well, that is it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. And we'll see you next time.